Hello dear students, I am Rahul Sharad Joshi, Assistant Professor at the Department of Commerce, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. I will be taking lectures for financial management and the topic chosen for today is combined leverage. Now, before we start with the combined leverage, we just need to recap of what we have done in the previous classes. We have studied operating leverage and financial leverage. So now let's come. Total risk of the firm comprises of business risk as well as your financial risk. Business risk can be measured with the help of operating leverage and financial risk can be measured with the help of financial leverage. Both these topics we have covered in the previous classes. Now, combined leverage is used to study the total risk of business. Now, is combined leverage a different kind of a leverage? Not exactly. Combined leverage is not a distinct type of leverage, it's a product of operating leverage and financial leverage. Now, the big question arises, when does combined leverage exist? Combined leverage exists when there are either fixed funds or funds bearing financial payments or both. Now, the business risk of the firm depends upon the factors which may be external to the firm and the finance manager may not really have control over these external factors. Then what to do? If business risk is high, then the finance manager should try to control the financing risk. Now let's study the impact of operating leverage and financial leverage. If a business is having a high operating leverage as well as high financial leverage, that would be a risky situation for the business. Whereas if operating leverage is high and financial leverage is low, then that's a normal situation. Again, if the operating leverage is low and financial leverage is high, again we term it as a normal situation. And if operating leverage is low and financial leverage is low, that is supposed to be the ideal situation when both the leverages are low. Now let's come to the functional relationship. We have done this format in the previous two classes, but just to explain the combined leverage, we again need this particular format. Now let's see. This is sales revenue and then we have EBIT. This relationship is nothing but operating leverage. Then we have EBIT and we have EPS. This relationship is nothing but your financial leverage. So sales revenue and EBIT, this is operating leverage relationship, and when EBIT and EPS, this is financial leverage relationship. Then what is combined leverage? Combined leverage is nothing but operating leverage multiplied by financial leverage. In other words, we can also say that combined leverage is a relationship between sales and EPS. Combined leverage is a relationship between sales and EPS. That would be the combined leverage. Now, how do we define combined leverage? Combined leverage is defined as percentage change in EPS for a percentage change in sales level. It can also be calculated as operating leverage multiplied by financial leverage. Operating leverage is nothing but contribution divided by EBIT and financial leverage is EBIT divided by EBT. EBIT gone. So, combined leverage can also be defined as contribution divided by EBT. Now, another formula for calculating combined leverage is percentage change in EBIT divided by percentage change in sales. This is nothing but operating leverage. And percentage change in EPS divided by percentage change in EBIT. This is nothing but financial leverage. Again, operating leverage multiplied by financial leverage, we arrive at percentage change in EPS divided by percentage change in sales. These two get cut off. So combined leverage can also be defined as percentage change in EPS divided by percentage change in sales. Now we would continue with the example which we have taken in operating leverage and financial leverage. In that case, operating leverage came to be 1.5 and financial leverage came to be 1.11. So the product of operating leverage and financial leverage comes to 1.66 and that is nothing but combined leverage. It means 1.66 combined leverage means that for every 1% increase in sales level, EPS will increase by 1.66%. Now let's verify this. Now this is the same example which we have taken while calculating operating leverage and financial leverage. Now let's continue with the example. This is the same example we have taken in case of operating leverage and financial leverage. Now we will understand the combined leverage impact. Now just look at the sales figure. Sales is increasing from 10,000 to 11,000, whereas the EPS is increasing from 3 rupees to 3.5 rupees. So what is the percentage increase in sales? That comes to 1,000 has increased, base is 10,000, This gives you a percentage increase of 10% in case of sales. Now let's study the percentage increase in EPS. EPS has increased to 3.5 rupees from 3 rupees. That the increase is 0.5, base is 3, this gives you an increase of 16.66%. So we can very well see when the sales is increasing by 10%, EPS is increasing by 16.66%. This is the relation of combined leverage. So now what is the interpretation of this one? The sales level has increased by 10%, that is from 10,000 to 11,000, whereas the EPS has increased by 16.667% from 3 rupees to 3.5. The percentage increase in EPS is 1.66 times that of increase in sales level. So dear students, that's all about combined leverage. Thank you.